Mentally. Come on in, everyone. Sit down. Welcome to a humble
Have a
abode.
seat.
Have a seat. It is time to talk about relationships.
Do you guys want a drink?
You want a drink? Go ahead and grab your drink. We have ours right here. And if you're wondering why are these people having the same clothes, hey, shut up. Okay. So, yeah,
Wow. Look at you. Letting loose.
yeah.
I love it. I'm here for it.
So, don't want to hear that. None of that in the comments, all right? None of it.
We just like to wear the same clothes every day.
Yeah. You know what? We're actually poor. This is our only clothes. You can find a GoFundMe under for our podcast clothing.
I do need new clothes though.
Yeah. No one's stopping you.
Myself.
Yeah.
No, it's not that, babe. It's
I,
just
I can hear all the women like, what? You just told your husband that you need more clothes and you told him no one's stopping you? And you're like, no. Girl, go get your clothes.
no, it's not that. It's that like nowadays it's hard to find clothes that's not inappropriate.
What she really means is that she's expensive and wants the top tier stuff.
No.
Because this whole time I've only made her buy lingerie and that's it.
It doesn't cover
It's the
you.
only clothing that she has besides what she's wearing right now. That's all she's allowed to wear in this house.
It's not true, guys. I don't wear that around the kids.
Nope.
So if you have kids listening,
Yeah, this is not a
make sure you don't.
show for kids.
I know, but some parents are like that.
Not us.
But welcome in.
Yeah.
We are Moises and Bree.
Brenda.
Call me Bree.
You can call her Bree. I call her babe all the time. Nobody else will.
Yeah.
And I mean it. Okay? Don't mess around.
Get your drinks, get your snacks.
And come sit down.
Enjoy the fun.
Today we're going to cover, if you're new, you have no idea what we're going to cover. You have no idea about our story. We started our first episode talking about relationships, and we, even though spilled many truths, you're probably wondering, well, how come they know all these truths about relationships? And my wife is yawning right now, but you can't see on camera because of editing power. But you will hear it from my voice, though. But yeah, one thing we wanted to cover is share our story with you all of how we started, I guess somewhat chronological order.
To give you some hope.
Yeah, to give you some hope. To share the challenges that we went through, how we went through them, and what led us to have the relationship we have now. Because yeah, our previous podcast, again, it was just us spewing little lessons here and there of our experiences, but it's like I don't know what to call it. It's just, it could sound like me just reading off a book kind of
Well,
thing.
it was basically just letting people know what we're about, what we want to do, and why we're here. So
yeah, now you get to hear where we come from.
yeah, and I think like maybe giving like single people some hope because they need it.
Yeah.
Because I really don't think that it's good to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
I think that God made us to have a significant other.
Yep. Just like he did for Adam.
Yeah, like I feel like being single is a very lonely life.
Very much.
Even though some people tell themselves otherwise, like, no, like I get to do this, I get to do that, and but when you have a other half, it's a lot more fun.
Yes, it is. Yeah, especially for those single people. If there is any single people listening to us, I don't have to struggle
With what?
with the whole dating period.
Mm.
That whole struggle of like, I like that person, I'm gonna go talk to them and then get rejected. I just have to focus on one person and work on the relationship with them.
Yeah. For the
But
rest of your life.
yeah, and that is, I guess, what we started. Both single. Both single, not looking. We met back in 2013.
Yep.
So, yeah, 12 years ago already. We're about to be 12 years together. That's crazy.
It doesn't really feel that way.
You know? But that's still crazy. Yeah, we met back in 2013. And at the time, we were both just living our life. Um, I was
I wasn't living a life. I was surviving life.
true, and I was figuring out life. I had no idea. So to give context, I was 19 at the time, like literally half a year fresh out of high school, and
Half a year? Really?
yeah, because I graduated
Oh, yeah, yeah.
2012 into that summer,
That's true.
and then we met in January.
Mm-hmm.
So I was 19, figuring out life, going through the motions of going to college, figuring stuff out. You were already 25 and with a kid, a job, and in your own place. I was broke, very crappy car. I'm grateful for that car, but it was very, very crappy. And living with mom, not having a job or anything like that, just really pure school, and that was it. That's where we started. That's how we met in college.
I had just gotten my own place too.
Yeah,
You didn't know that, or did you?
yeah. Well, maybe now I know because you told me, but
Yeah, like I had just gotten my new apartment, and I think, no, I don't know how long I had with my car, but yeah, I was like really trying to be independent.
yeah. And here comes along this hunky 19-year-old kid, sat right next to you and told you, "Hey, mommy, what's up?"
You did not tell me that
Yes,
at
I
all.
did.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
No.
No, I didn't. We met in the
You're so
most.
awkward.
We met in the most romantic, unromantic way. Romantic on my end. I'm sure very awkward and weird for you.
Yeah.
So, from my perspective, it was very movie like the way that we met. Because literally, we just went to class. I mean, in class, you don't walk in thinking like, "Oh, I'm going to meet the love of my life, the person that I'm going to choose to spend the rest of my life with." We just went to class. We showed up. We just so happened to sit next to each other. I think the first class you were there first, and then I walked in. Maybe, but I'm not too sure.
Maybe because I do remember being there a little early just because I didn't know where I was going.
Yeah.
But maybe not because I did get out of work at 5, so was
Yeah.
in class at 5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just know that we sat next to each other. And the first day, we just paid attention to the teacher. I mean, again, we were not looking. It's not like I was looking around like, let's see what hot mamas are in
Did
here.
you really pay attention to the teacher?
Yeah. First day, yeah. I was like, well, I'm here for class. What else am I going to do besides pay attention to the teacher?
I don't know.
That I listened, that's different.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say a lot of like college students who are fresh out of high school treat the first semester of college like high school. Like, I just need to show up.
Yeah.
Like, I just have to be here.
I mean, the first day, yeah. I guess. I don't know.
Because, yeah, like for me, it was different. I was 25 already. I was I already had a full-time job.
Yeah, because you went to a technical school before that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I already knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah. I didn't.
So I was there to like
I was just
focus.
a 19-year-old kid. But also, también, like, again, we were both not looking. So, again, I wasn't looking around, seeing, like, what girl am I going to take home tonight kind of thing. It was like the bar or a club for me. It's school. Let's do school stuff.
This is school stuff? Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so we didn't notice each other at all. We didn't pay attention to each other at all the first day. The second day, though, that is when I first laid eyes on you.
The first day was it a Monday?
No, Tuesday.
So we went to class Tuesdays
Tuesday
and
Thursdays.
Thursdays?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Huh.
It don't matter.
Okay. So it was a Thursday the second day.
The second day was a Thursday, and this is what I meant about I hearing out the teacher, but I didn't listen because she said the previous class I have this book for the next class. So I went to the second day of class without a book, but turns out me not having the book worked in my favor because that was the first time that because you were sitting next to me again, and I saw that you had a book. That was the first time.
So me having a book.
Yeah.
Worked on my favor.
My favorite too.
So we should be
up
prepared.
until this point, I have no idea how she looks. I just know she's just another girl. I know she had scrubs on, so I thought. To me, I thought that she was a high schooler, dressed in scrubs because she was in a special medical program where she had to wear scrubs. Again, because.
And he thought I was into Drake.
Yeah, I was fresh out of high school, and in my high school they had a medical whatever program where the people who were in that program had to wear scrubs.
Mm.
So with that in my mind, I saw another girl with scrubs in school who looked very young, and I was like, "Oh, she's probably in a medical program in school, and that's why she's wearing scrubs."
So you're like a high schooler.
I was fresh.
I don't know.
No.
Thought you were all cool. Like, I'm in college now. Why would I go out with a high schooler?
No.
It's against the law, though. What if I was like 17?
Yeah, that's against the law. So no. Anyway, I laid eyes on you. I was mesmerized. It was like a movie. It was, you know how in the movies, the guy's like walking or whatever, or I don't know, he's doing something, and all of a sudden, a girl pops into frame, and they bump into each other. I don't know. They drop something.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden he notices a girl, how she looks, and like she's like turning, and her hair is all fabuloso. Not fabuloso, herbal essences. And like there's like a heavenly light dropping down, and the lighting's perfect. Makeup on the girl is perfect, all that so. And the guy's like mesmerized.
That's what you're thinking, and I'm over here like that day, like feeling like okay, all sweaty because a full day of work, wearing scrubs, dealing with like fluids and.
Stop it.
What?
This is the purpose of that, okay? Porque me provoca.
What?
Me provoca. You're talking about yourself. You're saying all sweaty and overworked and stuff. Come down. You have to turn off the camera.
My hair all crazy.
Stop it.
Not even wearing makeup anymore.
But in my head, because I noticed your eyes, because you have colored eyes, I was like, whoa. And that was my head, right? That was my computing head. But again,
Did I wear glasses? No, huh?
I don't know. No me acuerdo.
I don't think at that time I did. I think I got them after.
Mm-hmm. But to get back to taking outside of that movie frame, again, that's what's going through my head movie wise. I guess that's how my head is interpreting it. Like, wow, this heavenly woman is looking back at me, kind of thing, and she's so beautiful. But then again, in real time, the only purpose, the only reason why we were even interacting for each other is because we needed to partner up for the book, because I didn't have a book.
We didn't need to partner up because I had a book.
Yeah.
So I could have easily been like...
Yeah, but then I'm not going to, like, we were in this place of the class right next to each other. You had a book. Nobody else around me had a book. So it's like...
The person in the front of you had a book?
I didn't notice that person.
Yeah, it was a lady.
And you were right next to me. Okay, so I'm not going to be like, hey, lady. I didn't know she had a book either. Because I looked around and the first person that I saw had a book was you.
Yeah, because I was next to you.
Exactly.
And we were kind of like in the back of the...
Yeah.
Not of the class, but like of where everybody was sitting.
Yeah. We were like in the last rows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway...
Sorry, also interrupting.
So that was the purpose of, like, that was the whole reason of us even interacting in the first place, because I didn't have a book. You were the nearest person that I noticed who had a book. And what I was trying to say is, like, I guess we have to partner up because you're the only one with a book. However, because I was taken aback, and in my head, again, that movie was playing of a beautiful woman looking back at me, my brain and tongue didn't connect properly. So what came out was like... And then what'd you say?
What?
But make the face.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. It was embarrassing for me because in real time I realized she didn't understand what a word I said.
Still to this day, there's sometimes I have no idea what he's saying.
Yeah. Why you gotta do me like that?
You said we were gonna have fun.
I'm not having fun right now. My embarrassment and misery is your fun for you. See what would I have to deal with this?
Sorry. Oh no.
I'm gonna be here for like half an hour, so.
Stop looking at me.
Come back. Get something stop.
I'm crying now.
Ya hasta se metió el sol.
And I can't see it and I can still see
Our
you.
Our daughters are already teenagers. Están saliendo canas.
Please stop.
We're gonna make great content.
I haven't laughed like 15, this in forever.
15 minutes of my wife laughing. That's the first
I haven't
episode.
laughed like this since the last podcast.
Yeah.
Now my makeup's messed up.
No, it's not.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, everyone.
See? It's like what they say online is
You better wait.
don't what do they say? I don't even know what they say. Something about ruining a girl's makeup not by crying but by laughing hysterically or something like that.
Oh, it is messed up. You said it was
No, it's not. How's it messed up? No one notices.
Yes.
Nobody's
I
gonna know.
notice it. When I look at it, I notice it.
Yeah, but they know, like, oh, it's ruined not because he made her cry, but he made her laugh.
See, that's how my makeup was that day.
So welcome back, guys. I know it's the year 2030, but this is the second episode still.
Stop.
Trump is out of office. Our country is back to normal, or it's great again.
You were saying.
I don't know what was I
saying.
So yeah, that happened, and going back to the moment of where we met, and I did my whole splur of mumbling and not being able to speak properly because, again, I was mesmerized by your beauty.
Mm-hmm.
I was taken aback. I felt like I went to heaven and I had to come back into my human body and realize, like, yo, dude, a beautiful girl's looking at you. Calm yourself down.
Calm yourself.
So I'm sure that I turned red because I was like, whoa, this woman is looking at me.
You're sweaty.
I was sweaty. Mom spaghetti. And yeah, like I couldn't speak after that. Even though
But I said,
all
what?
I did, yeah, and all I did was point to the book.
And I knew what you were saying because you pointed to the book?
Yeah.
Wow,
and then
I'm good.
I don't know what happened after that. I was unconscious for the rest of the day. I blanked out. I just know that we started to partner up together for everything after that. And yeah, like we just started having a friendship at first.
Did you run out of the classroom? Like, did you wait for me to leave or like you left that first day?
No, I just left. The first day? Yeah, I just left. The second day, I mean, I just left.
Oh, so you weren't that mesmerized.
Totally. Yes, I was mesmerized, but again, I wasn't looking. And I didn't want to get embarrassed. Further embarrassed.
You didn't want to get embarrassed that like I saw you in your car the first time?
No, that's when we started dating. Because now, like, oh, she's gonna be in this car. No, but when it was just class, like, no. I mean, I started to develop a crush on you and things like that because we were interacting with each other so much.
Doing work?
Yeah, just proximity.
Oh.
And enjoying, liking your company.
And
yeah,
I'm a very good
kind
company.
of like flirting with each other.
How was I flirting with you?
I was flirting with you, but you didn't notice.
Yeah.
Which made you flirt back with me, but you didn't even notice. That's called Riz, boys. It's called Riz. It's called game. No. Yeah, all I did was like not be so nice to you.
That's how you were flirting with me? That's the advice you're gonna give like single people, like don't be nice to your crush.
Yeah, in the sense of don't have an agenda, because there was another guy in that class who was actually trying to get with you. Flirting with you, you were not paying attention at all to him, or not even wanting to. You like, he would get near you and you'd be like, get away from me, kind of thing. Right?
Yeah.
And me, I wasn't trying. Again, I wasn't looking. Yes, I had a crush on you and things like that, but I wasn't gonna force myself and be like, hey girl, what's up? So our relationship progressed naturally at the very beginning, to the point where I develop an attraction and then you also develop an attraction.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, hey, you want to go out, have a drink, whatever kind of thing. It was just us being in the same place together at the same time. And I mean, helping each other. I did all the work.
Yeah, like I was going to say, how did I help you? Because I don't remember even helping you at all.
I did all the work in class. I love it.
It's just that English was really hard for me. It still is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. You just didn't want to do the work.
No.
Just admit it.
No.
You just wanted to try to get in my pants.
No.
And the only way you wanted to get in my pants was through me doing the work.
No. That's not true.
Because even after we started dating, I was still doing all the work. Even your work.
Because English has always been a really hard class for me. Because every other class, like, I was good with. I love doing work. I love doing homework. I love being at school. It was just that class.
That's how bad it was. I always did all the work, and one day I just had it. I was like, you're going to do the work this time. And that's what I mean about...
And I was shocked.
About being quote-unquote mean, is that I didn't let myself, kind of thing.
Yeah, you weren't like, oh, I like her, so I'm just going to keep doing it for her.
Yeah. They're like, no, you're going to do the work. And by me doing that, already set the foundation. Like if we were ever to happen to have a relationship, is this kid is not gonna let himself.
That's true. Like I didn't even think about that, but that's true. Like because I think that was like one of the first moments that I took you serious.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
And that's when she got tingly.
Yeah. I was like, "Aye."
Her spidey senses tingled.
I was like, what? And I did go home and
Like at first she didn't like it, but then at the same time she was like, I do like this. This is a man. He's not letting himself.
yeah. Like here's a man not just doing what I want him to do because he likes me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I didn't really want that.
Yeah. And then she told me that she spent the whole weekend doing that work. I have no idea what I did that weekend, but I'm sure it wasn't that work.
Yeah, because I was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even I remember.
I think you even sent me a picture afterwards. Maybe I don't even know.
I remember like my son like wanting to play. Like, no, I need to focus and do this work.
Yeah.
Like, see, you're so mean.
Yeah.
And then.
But yeah, I mean, on your perspective, I was just another weird kid. I mean, I don't know if you thought I was a kid, but what did you think?
Like, I didn't think anything.
You were not paying enough attention.
I did.
Just trying to get through it.
I don't go through life paying attention to people. Because I was in survival mode. Like it was always like I need to survive. I need to survive. I need to survive. So it's like whatever somebody else is doing looks like or is around me, it doesn't matter because I need to survive.
Yeah.
So I went in there and I was like, okay, I need to like get this done because I want to, do what I want to do and continue my career. So I just went to class. And then you said whatever you said. And I was like, okay. But I never thought like, oh, like he likes me or something. Like it was just like,
yeah,
he's got some kind of disability.
that was on the spectrum. Okay.
Like, okay, sure.
Sí, mijo. Siéntese.
Like, sure, we'll share books.
Yeah. We shared books, and from then on, we share life now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a few weeks passed by after we met in college, and I think it was around spring break. My crush started being stronger. I got to know you a lot more. Like weeks passed by of us being in the same class together, and in my head, she was still a high schooler who was in a medical program, and she was wearing scrubs. It wasn't until one day, I have no idea. Like I think we were sharing, like who we were.
Yeah, they put us in a group of 4.
Yeah, and it was your turn, and I think I shared before you, but it was your turn, and you mentioned that you were 25 and you had a 3-year-old kid, and that took me so aback. I was like, "What?" Again, in my head, high school girl, medical program. That's where she's wear scrubs.
You felt catfished.
No, not catfished. I was just like in disbelief because you didn't look like you were 25. You look like you're 25 now.
Oh yeah.
And on top of that, you have a kid. I was like, what the heck? I was not expecting that at all. So it took me.
Were you like, oh man?
No, it's just I was like, whoa, what the heck? I didn't expect that.
So not even at that moment when you found out like this whole scenario or this whole life that you thought I had or I was like, no, okay, that's not it. Like you weren't like, oh man, like never mind.
After I found out, I mean, yeah, as far as like pursuing a relationship with you. That's when I was like, okay, even though I have this crush that I'm still dealing with right now, and it's a strong one.
Sorry.
Because they didn't know the context and the behind the scenes stuff of like the relationship with the dad. Like to me in my head, you were with someone else. In my head.
Mm-hmm.
But then we started like through the class we learned more like, oh, I'm not with them. That's when I was like, what? But either way, I'm still like not gonna intervene because I personally waited for someone to intervene with my relationship. So even though I had a crush, I was like, okay, I'm gonna back off, and this is just gonna be a school relationship. Only see her Tuesday and Thursday. So I let it be. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna pursue it further.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll be buddies.
Yeah, we'll just be. Oh, I friend zoned you. Yes.
I was never trying to be somewhere else.
You still got friends on, okay? Just accept it.
Okay, baby. Give me your hand. Oh, thank you.
And then what happened?
What happened?
I stopped pursuing. So how did we even come to be do this?
I think that after the few weeks of like us talking just like in class and stuff, and you being so awkward all the time.
I was so awkward. There was this one time where I went to class and her just by looking at me and speaking to me. And I think this was around the time that you started to develop a crush on me, maybe. But you looked at me and I began to sweat.
It's because you looked so handsome that day. Do you remember what you were wearing?
No, I just remember I was wearing a puffy jacket.
No.
No? I know I was wearing white.
No.
Not even white? Who fuck no.
You remember?
No.
No, you were wearing jeans, dark jeans. You were wearing a black shirt with like your Express shirt. No, it had like some DJ stuff. I don't know. And then you're wearing a leather jacket.
Ooh. Dang it. Just picturing myself.
I was and you never dressed like that, so.
No?
No. But I was like, wow, he looks really handsome. But you were saying?
But yeah, then you, again, now I was in the mentality of, okay, I'm retreating myself from this. I'm not going to interact. I'm not going to begin interactions. It's just going to be like, if we need to interact, it's going to be because of school or whatever. But then you turned to me, like, how was your weekend? And I was like, why is this girl talking to me? Why is she asking me about my weekend? What does she want to know about my weekend? Why are you showing interest? I don't know what to do with this interest. Get away from me.
But we were friends.
Yeah. But that, I told you, I friend zoned you.
Yeah, so okay? Friends like, don't ask you about your weekend.
Right here. You stay right here. You don't talk to me. I school zoned you. Like, don't talk to me about nothing besides school. So that's where you're at. So when you try to come out of that area, I'm like, what?
Why are you talking like that?
Because I'm in character.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get it. 19-year-old you. And then?
Was that you?
Yeah.
Oh. So you got out of that area. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Because in my head, you're here. But then you're over here. So on my head, again, pretty woman looking at me, trying to talk to me, asking me about my weekend, showing interest in me. I have no idea what to do with it.
What did you say?
I said, good. And then I left. No, I got so hot.
You didn't leave. You said good. And then you're like, good. And then you turn back to the teacher. And I'm like, okay.
And then you still try to interact with me.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, like, so what's wrong with him?
Why?
Because at that point, I knew you didn't have a disability. Like, you were... So I'm like, why is he being so weird? What the heck is wrong with him?
Dang, it took you weeks to know that I wasn't disabled. That's crazy.
You were so awkward, babe. Like, extremely. Like, if we're ever able to go back to like watching those moments, you're gonna see how awkward you were, and you're gonna be like, dang.
I know it was awkward. That doesn't mean I'm disabled.
No, but you. I know. I'm not saying that. But you were just really awkward. So I was like, what is wrong with him? But we had already like talked in class, done work together. So then I asked you about your weekend and you're just like, good. I'm like,
yeah.
Like, okay. And I do remember like you got up and like you left. And I was like,
yeah, because again, this gorgeous woman is showing interest in me. I have no idea what to do with that, especially in class when I'm supposed to be paying attention or doing work or something else. And you're over here trying to flirt. So my body naturally got so hot. And I know that I got so red because I was blushing. So I had to go to the restroom to like cool down. My armpits were so sweaty. I got under the air thingy, the hand dryer.
Seriously?
I'm like, you need to dry up, boy.
No. You were wearing a jacket.
Yeah, which made it worse. I'm like, I need to take this off, but then my armpits are so sweaty. I don't want to go back to class with stains, armpit stains.
So okay, so then like you're being super, and I think that I already started liking you.
Yeah.
But then because I was a mom and my past relationships like were never good, and then my son's dad and I were just like not in a good place at all. Like it was horrible.
Yeah.
At least for me, it was like I just can't. I kept like thinking about like if I should really like even let you in.
Yeah.
Or should I just have fun?
Mira, ven. To this day, she's still having
Yeah. With you only.
Oh yeah, I mean we're being honest. That's the mentality we were behind.
Yeah, like honestly, like I was like, and because
either I'm gonna be, I don't know who's a famous celebrity who's in a long-term relationship. That celebrity, you can put whoever that is, or Pete Davidson for you.
Huh?
You don't know Pete Davidson?
Yeah, the
guy who's with every single celebrity, who's being used, basically. So is it going to be that or whoever else who's in a long-term relationship?
See, I don't know what I was going to say now.
About stuff.
Anyways, so when I talk to like some of friends about you, there was only one person that told me like give him a chance. Because everybody else is like,
thank you. Whoever you are.
You owe it to her.
Find her. Do your work, internet.
I know who it is.
Oh. Don't do the work, internet. Found it.
But she did. She told me give him a chance. But I was like, he's so young. I don't even remember the conversation.
My name was Moises Rico. Not so young.
I don't even remember the conversation. And I remember that I didn't even know your name for the longest time. She didn't know
my name. You know how heartbreaking that was when she... weeks, months in the same class together. And then one day that she started showing interest, she was like, what's your name? I was like, I was crushed. I was devastated that day. Like, she doesn't even know my name.
That's how much you were in the friend zone.
I school zoned you, okay?
In the school zone?
No, that's how much I paid attention. Maybe that's why you struggled in English. Because you didn't pay attention. Can't even remember names.
It's still hard for me to remember names.
Someone you spend months with.
You act like you were the only person I spent months with.
I was the only person that mattered.
Yeah, at the time, but at the time I didn't know. At the time, the only person that mattered was my son.
Yeah.
So, some guy's name, it wasn't important to
That was
me.
some guy. Dang. If her life was a movie and then it ended at that point, I would be in the credits as some guy.
My cheeks are
Some guy
hurting.
number 3. It's crazy. I never knew any of this, by the way. You're hearing it for the first time, too. I never knew none of this. 12 years together.
You didn't know what?
That I was just some guy. That I was her soulmate. Her one and only.
You are now. At that moment, I didn't know. See, that's what we're talking about. Like, you meet the one and you have no idea, so you, like, don't even. Like, I could have easily just listened to everybody, like, be like, no, he's too young, and cared about what everyone said, because no, he's too young, you have a son, you have issues with your son's dad, like, you work full time, you're trying to go to school.
Yeah.
I could have easily been like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But I didn't listen to anybody. And not because, like, I just went with my gut. Or, like, my feeling of, yeah, when she said, maybe you should give him a chance, like, there was something in me that was like, yeah, give him a chance.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. But because of how awkward you had been and how short you I was like,
how mean I was being? Okay.
He's never gonna ask me out. Like, he's never gonna ask for my number.
No.
And I ain't gonna be wasting any time.
To this day, I have not asked for no number.
I'm not gonna be wasting my time because I'm 25. I have a child, and
yeah,
let's speed this up. Let's have this conversation yesterday. Just kidding. And that's why I looked you up.
Yeah, she looked me up on my Instagram.
Yeah, because I was like, how the heck? I was like, what's his name?
So if you're single guys, or you're taking notes, don't pay attention to them, listen to them, and let them pursue you. Okay?
No, not all the time. There's some guys that do have to, like.
Yeah, show them that you're worth it.
It doesn't always work.
It worked for me. It only has to work one time. It only has to work one time. It's a numbers game.
But I looked you up, and then...
Hold on. To clear that up, I know I said it's a numbers game. That doesn't mean I was looking around. Okay, I was still not looking. I just got very lucky with my number.
You were talking to someone, though.
I was. You want to tell that story quickly? You want me to tell that story quickly?
Tell the story.
That's so funny. I wasn't really talking. It was just like they were also interested in me. And I was just there.
She was interested in me, and they were...
Yeah.
I had all these opportunities.
Had all these opportunities just fall in my lap, guys. Totally be mean to them. Don't pay attention. But yeah, she was interested in me. I wasn't. And we were just like, her was just a friend. Like, literally. But she wanted to escalate it, and I was like, well, I have nothing else to do. So let's give it a shot. But
see, then, he wasn't perfect, you see?
Yeah, I wasn't perfect either. I'm saying I was.
And then?
As soon as I got that Instagram, I was like, number deleted. Text messages deleted. 100% of my focus is on you.
What? As soon as you got that Instagram, what? Follow?
No, you messaged me.
Oh.
You first followed me, then you immediately messaged me.
Saying what?
No, you messaged me the next day. You followed me at night, and I was all giggly at night.
I did.
I slept
you
like
know
a
what
puppy.
I was doing that night?
What?
Drinking.
Mira, ya ves. Se reveló. It was a mistake all along.
How was it a mistake? It gave me courage to do it.
She had liquor courage to message you.
I wasn't drunk. Like, it was like...
Yeah. I have no idea what I was doing. I think I was in my bed and I saw that. I was like...
You started getting all sweaty again.
Yeah.
And I'm not even there.
Yeah. Big old smile on my face, like, ooh. She followed me. And then I accepted it because I could have easily declined. Could have Instagram stoned you. But no, I accepted it. And then the next day I did something and I posted about it and you commented. And that's basically...
What did you do, though?
I don't want to say.
It's important.
Why is it important? It's not important.
Yeah.
Why is it important?
Because the picture is important.
It was just a picture and you commented.
A picture of what?
You didn't want to share the show in the last podcast. You're going to force me to share.
No, this is important.
Why?
Because I thought something about it.
What'd you think?
And that's why I commented.
Oh. I guess. I don't know. I guess. It was a picture of me in a Speedo. Tried it on. I was 19. I was young. I regret it to this day. She liked it, though.
No.
Just kidding. No, honestly, it was a picture. I was uploading a picture because of a contest that a DJ was making. I was one of my favorite DJs at the time. And I made pancakes of their name, or letter pancakes of their name, because their whole things were pancakes. So I was like, okay, well, the best thing is make pancakes of their name. So I uploaded it to win the competition, hopefully. And that's what made you comment.
Because you were so big into, like, DJing and, like, all of that, right?
Yeah.
Well, when I saw the picture...
She thought I was trying to be Gordon Ramsay, trying to make...
No. Because I saw the picture and then I was like, wow, like... Because you did the actual name of the DJ in pancakes.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, that's pretty creative. But then I was like, why did he put it in, like... Styrofoam plates.
To Mexicanize it.
And I was like,
I don't know, that's what it was available.
And then I read it and it said, like, vote. And then I was like, oh, like, I want to help him out. And then that's when
she was mean.
Commented.
She was mean.
That was me flirting.
Yeah.
Just like you were flirting with me.
That's what started our interaction of, like, okay, we're both interested in each other. Or that was my green light to at least be like, okay, well, it looks like...
Yeah. Yeah, because I was like, he's not going to message me or ask me for my number or nothing. That's for sure. Like, I was so sure that was never going to happen.
I'm going to ask you something real weird. Okay? But it's... Just do it. Okay? Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask you to stroke my ego right now. Have you ever pursued any other guy before me? No. That's huge ego points right there for me. Nobody else to this day. Till this day. Till this day.
Yeah, it's never going to happen. Other than you.
Didn't happen before. It will never happen after.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only one.
And you still are the only one I pursue.
Yeah. See that?
To this day.
To this day. Do you think I'm going to become a meme for saying that?
Yeah. For sure.
So, yeah. You pursued me.
I
started chatting
commented.
on Instagram.
You commented back. I was being
like
mean.
That comment section is just us. There's like 50 comments of just us replying to each other.
Many comments replying to having like a whole conversation there.
Yeah.
I even put my phone number there.
And that was strategic because I was not going to be the first one to move on to DMs. Because you said to move on to DMs.
Did I? But I put my phone number in the comments.
Did you?
Yes.
And you deleted it?
Yes.
Oh. There you go.
Once I realized, like, oh, I just gave my number to, like, everybody else.
All of my 300 minus 200 minus 50 of my followers. If we do quick math, that's only 50 people.
I was like, you delete this. But I waited till you messaged, like texted me, because then I was like, I need him to get the number.
Yeah.
And then.
So I got the number.
And then once you texted me, I deleted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before that, that's when I admitted to you.
Oh yeah.
Because you asked like, why are you so mean to me? And that's when I said, because I think you're cute. Yeah, sure. That game, that Riz, spilling the facts.
And then I said what?
Not being too overbearing, but also enough to be like, all right, cool. You know what she said? You ready? You ready? You're not gonna believe this. You ready? She said, thank you. And that was it.
What else did you want me to say?
I don't know.
Okay, so like, let's go back to what you said earlier. I had never pursued anyone before.
Yeah.
You were the first one. I had no idea how to do it. Like, how do I even like do that? So I was like, thanks. Like, I'm pretty sure you already know that I like you by me being the one that followed you, stalked you to make sure like I like followed you, and then like
the right Moises
commented, and then like all of this things that I did to get your attention.
Yeah.
So I had already done enough.
And you still continue to.
So I didn't like. I was like, thanks.
Yeah, because you were the one that still texted me. Like now we were in that position of like, okay, let's see who's gonna start texting who. Good morning, whatever. Good night. What you doing? You up? That was all you.
What was my first text?
Hmm?
What was my first text?
I don't know. Hey.
In the morning?
Think so. Maybe.
So, I texted you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's when we started to have a relationship. Before we became official, I made sure to ask like, "Hey, what's up with that?" And then you told me like, "Oh, nothing's happening." So, like, all right, let's go all in. And then that day we got married. She got pregnant. Just kidding. No. After that day, we just started dating. We formed a relationship. We went on our first date. Took it to a scary movie. I was so afraid and embarrassed because that day I cleaned my car the best that I could. Like all eaten, the paint eaten from the sun. The insides were peeling off. The dashboard. What dashboard?
No.
But that's all I had. And it's like, I didn't have any other fancier cars.
But you know what I liked about that was that you didn't show up in your parents' car. Like you could have easily shown up in your mom's car or your sister's car, but you didn't.
Nope.
You showed up in your car.
Yeah, that first day was embarrassing.
Or you could have been like, "Oh, let's go in your car," or something. You know.
That too.
But you didn't. Like, you manned up and you were like, this is what I have, and that's what I'm going to pick her up in.
Yeah.
And then you picked me up. Like,
yeah, picked you up.
It's not like I lived around the corner either. Like, I lived pretty far.
I was so scared for my life. I thought I was going across the border to Mexico. And I was about to get corralled by some cartels and be stripped and be on a beheading video.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like you could literally see the.
You couldn't see. What do you mean? It was pitch black.
Well, in the daylight, you could see like Mexico on the other side.
But at night, you can't tell if you're in Mexico or not.
Yeah. My phone said I was in Mexico.
But yeah, like I had never been that far into the area that we live in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to go pick you up. We went on a date, watched a scary movie. I opened the door for you, which you were like, "What the?
Yeah, I was so weirded out.
What is that?"
I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
No, but I was like, oh, this is cute.
Yeah, went to go watch a movie.
But I was like, because I was so skeptical of men
Hmm.
already, like from all my relationships, I was like, he's just doing it because it's our first date.
Hmm. I still do it to this day.
12 years later.
Yep. It's weird when I don't do it.
Yeah, now it's like, you didn't open the door for me.
Yeah. That's how spoiled she is. But yeah, we went on a date. We watched a scary movie. It was embarrassing because after that, I got stopped by the cops because
Pulled over.
my brake light in the back wasn't working. So I got pulled over. Had to fix that. What was more embarrassing, even though it wasn't my intention, but it was embarrassing after the fact that it happened, is that when I dropped you off, I don't know what you told me, but then I asked, like, do you want me to come inside? Like, again, no intention of, I had no agenda of, like, I want to get in her pants or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't. It was an honest question of, like, okay, do you want me to keep you company?
Like, you want to keep hanging out.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
She told me no, sadly. So I had to put the condoms away. Kidding.
What did I say?
I don't know. You just said no.
Not
And
today.
like, no, it's fine.
Oh.
I don't know what you said prior that made me say like, oh, well, do you want me to come inside, kind of thing. And I think you said something about you being alone.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was going to be alone for the weekend.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I did live pretty far.
Yeah. So I asked you that. You pondered on the question, and then you were like, no. No, it's fine. I'm like, all right. It wasn't until I got home and I was like, I just messed up. I'm never going to see her again.
And then I texted you.
She thinks I'm trying to do something.
No, I didn't even think that.
Good.
At all. Again, like, I don't go through life thinking, like, oh, why did she... Unless it's like...
Obvious.
No, unless it's like me trying to defend myself from something. Like, unless it gave me a certain feeling, then I think about it.
I didn't give you that creeper feeling?
No, I didn't feel uncomfortable or anything, so it was like, okay.
Yeah. So, that was our first date. And I think like 2 weeks later, that's when I asked you to be official. I remember like we didn't go out. You would come over to my mom's. I think before I even asked you, I think even before we went on our first date, maybe you had already met my mom.
You asked me to be your girlfriend after I met your mom, but it was that same day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No.
Like,
Did I ask you to be my... No.
Yeah.
No. It wasn't.
Yes. Because I was leaving.
Yeah, you were leaving, but it wasn't that same day. Because the day that you met my mom, it was very early on in our relationship. We were not official. I think it was after... I don't even think it was after our first date. I think it was before. Like, it's when we started hanging out. Just hanging out with each other. And you came over. Oh, no, it was... Wait.
Baby, the day that I met your mom, like, we went on a date, but the day that I met your mom...
We didn't go on a date.
No, we went on a date before I met your mom.
Yeah, because I would tell her, like, I'm going with a friend.
Yeah. But the day that I met your mom is the same day you asked me to be your girlfriend.
No. This is how I remember. Okay? Because it was April 18th. You met my mom in March.
Oh, like you're right. Yeah.
And it was a day after school.
Yeah.
It was a day after school. I like
that I didn't go to psychology.
yeah, because you had a class after our class.
Yeah.
So you skipped it for me.
After that I would skip that class a lot.
Yeah, because of me. Yeah, so we went over to my house, and my mom, like to this day, to my mom, whenever I went over to your house, I would tell her, I'm going with a friend. I'm going with a friend. We're con un amigo. So, like a guy friend.
Lies.
So, as soon as I stepped in the door, because it was, I don't know what time, like you can hear my mom saying, ¿Andabas con tu amigo? From the kitchen.
And she starts hitting you with the garra.
No, not even like we were not even through the door before she said that. Like she like,
But she saw like
¿Dónde estabas con tu amigo?
she was standing by the table. We came in and she said that from there.
Mm.
And that's con tu amigo. We walked in and she like started hitting you con el trapo. And I was like, but I had no idea that's what she said.
Yeah.
Until after.
Mm.
Because I was like, why is she hitting him? Like,
Yeah.
should I leave?
So that was her first impression of my mom. Her hitting me. And that's how you met her.
Mm-hmm.
Before we made it official.
Yeah.
Then
that's true.
After a couple of dates, I remember we were on a date, and all I did was we were set up back in my mom's backyard. We were watching a movie on my laptop.
Oh yeah.
And the movie was over, so it was like, all right, well, gotta leave.
You gotta go.
No, I don't know, but I know you left, and then in the car, I don't know what we were talking about. I know you were laughing, and in that moment, like I hadn't planned this whole thing of like I'm gonna ask you out.
I was already laughing.
Yeah, you were laughing, and I just remember having this out of body experience of seeing you laugh at whatever I said. I don't know, and just being like I love this. Like I want her to be my girlfriend.
Oh.
And then like I just went for it. I was like, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" And you were laughing the whole time. And then you heard that. And what'd you say?
No.
No, you didn't say just no. You're like, ha, no.
I was already laughing though.
Yeah. She thought I was joking. And then I was just like, oh.
Because I had to have been laughing at something, like funny stuff that you were saying.
Yeah.
I wasn't laughing just to laugh.
Yeah. That's why I was like.
So then that's why I thought it was a joke. Because I was like.
Yeah. I didn't plan it at all.
That's what you get. And I said, are you serious?
I was depressed for the rest of my life because of that moment. Or that's what it felt like. Because I got rejected.
Mm.
But then you said, what'd you say?
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm like, yes, I'm serious. You want to be my girlfriend? And then what'd you say?
Yes.
Why are you questioning it?
Because I'm like trying to think to it. Like, did I say yes or of course or like.
You said yes, and then you gave me a hug. And I was crying because I was like, oh, finally. Thank God. They went from sad tears to happy tears instead.
You're welcome.
So that's when we became official. And I know it sounds very fine and dandy up until this point, very romantic. But like, once we became official, we started to hang out more. A lot more.
Every day.
Every day.
Talk every day.
Talked every day. And guess what happens once you are in proximity to another person? You start finding out how they really are. And yeah. It was crazy.
You met the deeper me.
Yeah. The real, well, not the
like,
real, but.
No, like you had met surface level.
Yeah. The one that you can just interact from time to time for a couple of hours. But now it's like, oh, Oh, this is what you do on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is what you do for fun when we're not on dates, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like
That's where the red flags start coming.
yeah, that's when the flag those
For
flags
you
start
guys
coming.
that are barely dating, that's where the red flags start coming.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you just okay, red flag, you're out.
Yeah, I think one of our first fights was about how you wanted to go dressed up to Whataburger at 5 a.m. That was the very first fight.
I wanted to go dressed up.
How you wanted to go dressed to
Uh-huh.
Whataburger at 5 a.m. Like I don't know where we went before that. I
Mm-hmm.
know we went out. I don't know if it was to a rave because I was too young to go to a club. It was like a rave or a party.
No, I went out, baby.
I didn't go out.
You so that
Mírala, mírala. No me invitó.
you couldn't go.
That's true.
I went out with my friend, and we were both wearing like very like crazy looking clothes.
Yeah. Revealing.
Revealing clothes, yeah. But you were
Which I liked to this day.
You were like at a friend's party or something.
I have
Yeah, like you were at a friend's party.
no idea.
And when we were done, we went over.
Yeah.
Yeah, to your friend's party.
Mm.
And then that's why it was 5 a.m. because we were there. And I got really drunk. I think that was the day that, like you said, I was dancing with this like chubby guy or something.
No, that was different.
Because that's what I was wearing that day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, we got in a lot of fights that day.
Yeah.
Man, that was heavy.
Yeah, I was wearing the same thing.
Dang. So yeah. So I guess that was a culmination of like, all right, now I know how you really are, and I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this sounds, I don't know, what do they call it? Misogynistic,
Mm-hmm.
I think. If that's the right word or term, whatever. It sounds very misogynistic, but that day I told you, like, don't dance with anybody else. And if you want to go to Waterbury at 5 a.m., you're going to have to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't dress like that.
Respect yourself.
I didn't say that.
I know.
But that was the intention. It's like, we're dating.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, I'm like, we're dating to have a relationship. Like, we're going to make this work. Like, you're mine, I'm yours, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Already. So, like, you're mine. You dress like that for me. Not for anybody else to go ahead and ponder on.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first fight. And you were like, you're not going to tell me how to dress. If you don't like the way I am or the way I dress, you can go and blah, blah, blah. Leave.
But do you know where that came from?
Yeah. Now I do. Not at the time. I was like, why you not listening? You made me cry out of anger that day. I punched the floor.
A lot of times. But yeah, I had already been in several relationships, and then it was my fault. It was my fault that I got out of like a relationship where I ended up having a kid to like getting into another relationship. And now I'm like, because in my past relationship, like I could just however I wanted, like it,
yeah,
do what I want. Like I was raised in a way where it's like nobody should be telling you what to do.
Yeah, or how to be.
Or how to be, like, you know, they should love you for who you are, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? So then I come into this relationship being like, okay, like I'm free, like I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And, you know, like weekends where my son is with his dad, I can just let loose. When I moved here, like, this was a party world.
Mm. Yeah.
So it was like, okay, like partying, drinking, that's what you do. So that's what I gotta do. So that's what I did. Not knowing that I was gonna be with the guy who was like, this isn't gonna be like this. Like, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
Like, no. So that's why we would fight.
I want to remind everyone, again, I was 19. I had no job, living at my mom's, just going to school. She was a mom of a 3-year-old boy, 25, already had her own place and her own job. And I was this 19-year-old kid telling her this.
Yeah.
You know how much cajones tienes que tener, bro, to do that? Like, again, the woman of my dreams here in front of me, and I'm telling her this with the potentiality of, like, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
That she can just bounce because, again, she's 25, has her own kid, her own job, her own place. And I have none of that, and I'm just telling her all this. Luckily, she didn't. It did cause a lot of fights. Because, yeah, I mean, you were a very independent woman, and you didn't want to depend on a man to give you the life that you wanted.
Yeah.
So seeing a 19-year-old kid, you're like, boy, sit down.
Yeah, I was like, you're not gonna tell me what to do. I'm just like, I'm gonna do my thing, and if you wanna be here, then cool. So I was like,
Yeah.
Like, I make my own money.
Yeah. Yeah, she had all the right to just walk away. And
Yeah.
Like, get out of here. Like, you're not gonna tell me what to do. But she didn't.
But because once I was sobered up and stuff, I saw it as like, oh, he really cares. Like, I saw you as like trying to protect me.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, like something that I always wanted in a man without knowing. Is like for him to be my protector.
Yeah.
And lead me.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know either that I was leading our relationship. But that's, I don't know, did we cover it in this podcast for the previous one? But, excuse me, like going back to the moment where I told you, like, hey, you're going to do the work this time. It was a similar moment where I was like, I'm not going to let myself. So I needed to lead. I'm like, this is not going to happen. Like, we're going to be in a relationship. Then this is something that is not acceptable.
But I still went dressed like that to work.
No, you didn't. You changed.
I was just making sure. Because I don't remember.
No. I mean, either we didn't go or...
No, we did go. I remember being there.
Right? But you changed. Because your friend gave you a cachetada and told you, like, he loves you. What are you doing? He's a good man.
No, that was after.
No, that was there. Because you were literally yelling at me. Like, you were mad. You were pissed. Drunk pissed, but still pissed. And I was in the living room crying.
Out of anger.
Yeah. You're like, why don't you just listen? So you changed.
The way I cry when my kids don't listen. Yeah.
And that was the beginning of a relationship, of the reality of our relationship. Yeah. There were so many other worse nights than those, to the point where I was like, I'm exiting out.
Yeah.
And it was after so many talks. Like, we even had a talk about, like, hey, you need to stop going out every weekend and drinking. Again, 19-year-old kid telling her this. 20 at the time already.
Yeah.
That don't make no difference.
You were still under 21.
20. Still living at my mom's. No job. Telling her this. Of like, hey, be better.
Do better. You're like, it's already been months of this.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you even lasted that long.
I'm loyal.
Hmm?
To this day. Because I'm loyal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why. I mean, before that, I only had 2 serious relationships, or at least relationships that I considered serious.
Yeah.
Because I'm loyal. So, I continue to give it a shot. Yeah, I reached my breaking point to the point where I was like, this time, after this trip, like, I'm going to end it. And then we planned something else because we had a good weekend and meiste. So, like, all right.
And I'm a planner. Like, I plan ahead.
I'll give her another shot. This night was good. And then something else happened. I was like, I'm done with this. So I'll plan it after this trip or whatever it may be. And then, yeah, we moved in together. Still with the same issues. I think that's when I brought it up to you after all of that, going through all of that, it's because I was like, okay, well, I think we need to move in together to be able to work things out properly.
That's crazy. Like, okay, it's not working out. Let's move into it. And you know how many like people say that? You know what? It's not working out. Let's get married.
Like, we need to go to the next level.
Uh-huh.
We need to be more committed. We need to show that we are more committed.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. At least don't get married just for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, we moved in together. But I think this is going back to what we mentioned last episode, is that now we were in an environment together where you were still dealing with your stuff, I was still dealing with mine, and we were essentially, if we wanted to work things out, force each other to, hey, we need to figure out how to be able to live together, no matter the struggles or whatever it may be.
But after how long of us dating did we move in together?
2 years.
Yeah. So you put up with me for 2 years, my craziness.
Yeah. Before we moved in together, that's when I think you had your breakdown. Because we talked about it for a few weeks, and then it was, I think, a month and a half before we were like, this is the date that we're gonna move in together. You had a breakdown of, I guess you were getting cold feet, maybe, and then you told me, like, you're too young. Go out, date so many other women, and I'll grow up till you're 25, and then I'll be right there waiting for you. And again, I was telling her, I don't want nobody else. I want you. I want to be with you. But in that moment, you were like, no, like, you don't have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was scared.
You have know what you want. You don't know what you want. So you need to go.
Yeah, because you couldn't even order food at the fast food restaurant.
Hello? I could order you around.
You could order me around, but you couldn't order food. Like, you don't know what you want.
But yeah, that day you told me, like, go, leave. I'll set you free. So she literally broke up with me, guys.
Yeah, baby, but let's go back to my past.
She ended it.
I had already had several relationships where I move in and it was like chaos.
Yeah.
And it was like I was
this after? Because you know how you told me my mom and Celia talked to you?
They talked to me after you talked to your mom.
But was this after or before you breaking down?
No, that was before.
You broke down before? Oh, okay. Man, if they would have talked to you, that breakdown would have been way worse. And then? Like, your past relationships went in together.
Yeah, and then it was like...
being horrible experiences.
Yeah. It was like nothing good out of it. So it was like,
Here we
I
go
am
again.
not go. Yeah, like here I go, another cycle of like being with someone, moving in, and
Which makes sense. Again, I had no job,
me
young
trying
kid.
to survive, and then like my thinking is like now I have to support this other person.
Yeah.
Have a son.
Yeah. So that's what she told me. She broke up with me, and then like 2 minutes later, I literally got in my car. I left her apartment. Started driving away. Cause like, all right, I guess this is the end. I was heartbroken. Couldn't believe what was going on. And then my phone rang. You were still breaking down. I think you were breaking down even more.
Yeah,
She was
I do
bawling.
remember like crying so hard.
Yeah. I've never, to this day, I haven't seen her cry like that. Yeah. Even through family deaths, I've never seen you cry like that.
Mm.
Like you were devastated. And then on the phone, you told me, like, no, I can't do this. Come back. Can't live without you. And I was like, that's right. Did a U turn. So I went back to your apartment, and then you continued crying, and I was just there holding you. And we got back together.
Again.
Yeah. I think that's when our relationship got like, okay, well, you, in your head, you were like, I can't live without him. And in my head, I was like, okay, well, it looks like she's taking it serious now.
After 2 years.
We're gonna, not that you didn't, but that's when it was like official. Like we're gonna do our best to not walk away from this.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're not gonna walk away, we need to make this work. So moving together again, we're still having issues. Still having a lot of issues. You don't like what I was doing, so on and so forth. Whatever it may be, but now like we're living together. Bills are being shared. We moved into a certain place because our focus was okay, we're gonna go to school and school's right there.
Mm-hmm.
So on and so forth. But we continue to still have issues. And it wasn't until we started hanging out with other couples, because until this day, it was just single people that we were surrounded by.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody was single that we were hanging out with. But then we started hanging out with other couples, seeing like, oh, look at that. Look at their relationship, how it is. Sadly, most of those couples are separated right now. Crazy.
Yeah.
But that laid of thought and foundation within us to be like, we want to have a healthy relationship. We want to have a thriving relationship as well. And I think that's what helped even more the environment that we were in
Mm-hmm.
of other couples, that we were like, okay, well, let's figure things out even more.
Yeah.
And yeah, little by little, we started to figure each other out. When we really started doing the work was after COVID, I think. Like before that, I think from 2015 all the way to COVID, we just did what everybody else was doing to have a healthy relationship,
Mm-hmm.
but not the deep work. And what I mean by that is learning the 5 love languages. Like, oh, you have to do this because your wife is this way,
Yeah.
whatever it may be. And during that time, we had 2 more kids. We got engaged. We got married, but we were just doing the surface level stuff. Like, oh, this is what you have to do to keep up with the Joneses and look good and
Mm-hmm.
have, excuse me, what looks like the perfect family in the Christmas pictures kind of thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't until 2020 ish, 2021, where we started to do real deep work, which I guess we can get into in the next episode.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
sure.
our story's pretty long.
Yeah.
12 years of it.
12 years of it. But at least you guys know context. You know context. A lot of context as to how our relationship even started.
Yeah.
It didn't start perfect. Still not perfect to this day.
But it was very rocky.
Yeah. But here we are, still going strong.
People are like, how did you even make it?
Yeah, like a lot of people. Again, all the odds were against us. I was a young little kid. You're already established as like you had your own life. Like, how can that work together? And again, adding the fact that relationships don't last as long anymore. Divorce rate is up off the hook. Relationships now sometimes are very toxic. Like, how can something that is not supposed to work on paper, how can that work? And yeah, it just required a lot of work that we committed to, that we had to make it work. But at least now you know the context of how we started. And as the show goes on, you will continue to learn how we made it to this point. To be confident enough to share that with you all so that you can learn and apply it to your relationships, no matter whether you're starting dating, whether you're a few years into your marriage, a lot of years in. I know for a fact that we're going to continue learning. Like, we just learned something new about each other just yesterday when we were talking. And we're still, that's 12 years into a relationship. Again, multiple kids already, married, so on and so forth. But in the next episode, I think we're going to delve into the dark stuff, the baggage.
So should we tell them bring their Kleenex or
bring your Kleenex,
their popcorn,
bring your therapist on speed dial, bring your comfy blanket, whatever you need to be strong enough to listen to that conversation. Because yeah, next episode you will learn like, oh, that's why she was this way. Oh, that's why he was this way.
Oh, we're getting to that.
Yeah, you'll learn where.
I'll bring my comfort stitch.
But yeah, but again, hopefully you learned something from this episode. Know that, like, hey, relationships, they don't have to be perfect. They don't need to be perfect. There's no perfect relationship in the entire world. No matter how hard you try to find it, you will never find it. It's an impossibility. So if you're in a relationship, you're looking to be in a relationship, go with that expectation that it will not be perfect. That perfect that you're with, that person that you're with, is not perfect. They will have flaws, and you will have to deal with those flaws. And it's your job to deal with them and help them deal with it too. And together, you will form that relationship that you've dreamed of. And actually be happy. So thank you again for joining us. Thank you again for joining us on this show, for sitting on that couch. Again, there's literally a couch behind the camera. And
that's yours.
Yes, that is yours. You can keep it. Just clean it. And other than that, you go love on your partner. They need it.
Yeah.
Go love on them. Go enjoy them. Go share what you learned from this podcast with them. Be excited for your relationship because it's worth it. And we'll see you on the next show.
Thank you.